want to show you why my life has completely changed. I bought a house and it was $5,000. Kind of unheard of. I've heard of it before, people finding deals like that, but kind of have to be on the inside. Interesting story about how this happened, but I did not expect this. And this is a turn of events that I have never would have expected. And those blaring horns that you hear are from the tourist attraction historic train, and it kind of blows horns during the day, but it's pretty cool because they have dinners and stuff on that thing, and they do a little scenic tour. But yeah, that'll be a nice little atmospheric sound every day. But literally I don't care because I have a place to stay and I don't have to pay rent or a mortgage for the rest of my life just because I have this place. If you've been watching my videos, you'll see my progression and all of my research and theoretical ideas about doing something like this, and all the problems that you run into with finding a deal. Because there was an owner before me that was gonna start to renovate everything, just got everything torn up, and then decided that he had too many projects and he didn't want this anymore. So there's the hole where the toilet used to be, and it's going to take a lot of work, obviously, and the foundation is doing all sorts of things. Probably can't see it on video, but it's kind of doing kind of like a up and down type of thing. But I really don't care. I would have bought this even if it didn't have a house on it, because $5,000 for, this is 0.17 acres. It's got some trees in the back that are nice. And those are some toilets I found for $40 each at what is it called? Habitat for Humanity, that's what it is. So they look pretty good. So I thought I'll probably put a second toilet in somewhere. And I'll show you the back as I talk. So I finally have a place to put all my stuff. My cargo trailer was kind of getting stuffed full of junk. Not really junk, but stuff I wanted to collect until I got a house. And so luckily this one had a garage on it, and I would have bought this home just with the garage on it or even without it. And it's got a little back street, or a back access street, so these are nice mature trees out here for shade. Pretty amazing. I mean, I am completely floored. I'll tell you the story behind this. So this house has been used a lot over the years. People have tried to renovate it, but essentially you get people without really any money, so they can't really renovate it. So this is the garage. I started moving stuff in, my shop stuff. I'm gonna build the shop table over there, my trailer. So I'm gonna have to tell you the story behind this and how I got it, just because it is nothing short of a miracle. And everybody that I tell feels the same thing. My parents, my brothers, sisters, any friends that I've told about it. This house came online, and I might have even done a video on it. I was probably going to, but I was thinking of all the theoretical things, like if I could just buy a house with the money that I have and pay it off, then my whole life would change, because I don't want to have rent, I don't have a mortgage, and any money I get goes towards either improving that or getting another property, and I never have to get a bank loan. And those bank loans kill you, because and rent kills you, just because, you know, I've always had to hold a job that I never liked, and my life wasn't going anywhere, just constantly on the hamster wheel, on the treadmill type thing, and just running and never getting anywhere. And in theory, I just thought I just need a house that's paid for. But so during the last year, I was living at my parents', and I just saved up all of the money that I got donating plasma, like I did today, or, you know, working at any job like bus driving and everything. And I was going to use that money to help my parents build a place, but I came back home to Iowa, and this house came back on the market. I saw it pop back on the whatever website, and I was going crazy because I knew I wanted it before, and I couldn't get it because I couldn't get a hold of anybody, and it was already sold. And that's usually how it goes. You usually get a house flipper in there that's a real estate agent that has the inside scoop on the houses that come on the market, and they usually put it online just for procedural stuff, you know, just to have it officially online, but they already have the buyer. And so there would be no chance for me to even take advantage of this deal. So what happened was I was just like disappointed again, because I couldn't get a hold of anybody that was really, it was just kind of generic. Here's a real estate agent, here, call this person, or send an email for a house tour or whatever. But none of the agents knew what was going on with the house. They just knew the status online. And so they could never tell me what the seller was thinking or anything. You never know any of that. So I came by with a friend, and I was just showing him the house. I'm like, I just showed him, well, this is the house I was interested in, but it wasn't, you know, it was sold already. So just on a whim, I was just like, well, I'll just put a note on the door. So I wrote a little note, ripped it, a little piece of paper off, wrote it, and said, hey, I'll offer cash, $5,000, and I'll offer a little bit more than the other person, so that gives them a little incentive to be interested in me. And I just left it alone. I thought it was just going to be done, and I think it was maybe a few weeks after that, I got a call in the morning, and it was the actual owner, and he's a real estate agent. And he said, hey, are you interested in this? I found your note. And I said, heck yeah. So I took off to meet him, and I was ready to quit my job or anything to go meet with this guy. This house was not really meant to go back onto the market, really. The girl that I was talking to when I was doing the closing and everything and the paperwork, she said that they weren't going to put this back online. She didn't want to do that because they were getting so many calls from people that couldn't afford it. And they were just looking for a person who had cash like me, who was able to just do that. It's important for me to also add that I've had a lot of good paying jobs in the past, and I've had a lot of promising careers or career paths. And I've always found myself doing projects or seasonal jobs I have a master's degree and it's helped me with some jobs, but these project-based jobs or seasonal jobs don't really look good on paper as far as getting a bank loan for a house, anything like that. So I've never really been able to escape the rent phase of my life and get out of rent or anything like that. I've always been trying to start a new business or get a really good paying project, but this has always been something that I've been chasing, but I've never really been able to accomplish just because of the nature of the career that I'm in. I kind of had to think backwards with what we normally think of. I had to think that I've got to secure housing first, meaning that I've got to have something paid off first before I go look for a career or a long-term thing. This is what I did is I actually stopped paying my bills. You know, my parents let me stay at their place, and what I did was just I had a job and I just kept accruing money. I would cash out and put into a jar, literally, and this jar would just accumulate, and I would just save that as if it was the most precious thing, because this is going to go towards a piece of land that I could buy and just pay in cash. And I had my house ready essentially with my camper trailer. I just had that to live in. So, but if I could just achieve just buying that piece of land, being able to live on it, and then having an income from somewhere, then that's going to make all the difference in the world. So then I wouldn't have to be reliant on my parents or friends or family or anybody else to have to park on or live on their couch or whatever. It took a lot of searching, a lot of praying about it, a lot of grace from my family to be able to let me stay, and they trusted my plan about doing this. You know what this feels like? It feels like I've been on a long journey on the ocean, on land, barren deserts, and after a big long trek on the ocean, I finally have the feeling of being on land, and I've never experienced that before. My mental health, emotionally, all of these things wrapped up together is just that feeling of just being on the shore, of finally hitting land, and it's still processing in my mind and my spirit how things are going to change. And everybody needs something like this, and if anybody has the means of helping anybody else do this, then I would want to help them. I would want to help others, help other people, and just start doing stuff like this and doing research and trying to figure out how to make things different so that we can change things up and have, deals like this pop up, $5,000 houses that are affordable for everybody and available for everybody. How's that sound? I would love to see $5,000 houses that are so abundant that there's too many of them. I would love to see that happen. So we'll see how things change. It's going to take years probably, but this took a lot of years of pain and suffering to try to figure out. So it's just starting from scratch, basically. So, honestly, I just want to lay down on the ground and just sleep for 3 years.